This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the Fishing Crew.
I don't know. You might have got that one, buddy.
Oh, I broke a barrier on that one. Yes, so here's the deal. I was early for a reason because I went back and watched the last 2 weekends, and it set the hook. I'm like, no, when the guy that does his thing says set the hook, I am setting the hook on cue simultaneously. So I thought, all right, I'm going to do it ahead of time. I'm going to beat the goofy dude that does the intro, and I'm going to make it work. So now I'm curious to see after the show's over to go back and watch it and see if I'm on time, ahead of time, whatever. And then after that, I don't care. I'll set the hook when I set the hook, and then that's it. We're good.
Yeah, it's all part of the thing. You're the only one that knows the timing. I've watched them back, and I don't pay attention to that timing. So I get guarantee, and most of our guests don't know that either, or most of our listeners don't know that. But yeah, so before we get into the show tonight, I kind of guess I want to air something out.
Oh boy,
it's not. We've had the conversation, right?
Okay.
The platform we're running kind of wants to jack us around, so
no, they don't.
Yeah,
really big time.
They want to up us by 1,000% on what we're paying for this platform. So we are in the process over the next couple weeks to try a new software. Hopefully it works the way we plan it. So bear with us next week if we launch a new software, or the next 2 weeks. We got till April 5th to make a decision on what we're going to do. But, I'm going to put it out there. We don't make a penny doing this. We do it for fun. And if we make money, it's great, but we love doing it. We've talked about it 100 times over, almost going into year 3. I'm not going to speak for Chasen, but I can say for myself, there's not a week that goes by that I'm like, oh shit, it's Wednesday night.
Yeah, now I'm good with it.
Now we do. Oh shit, who are we going to have on?
Sometimes it does happen that way because we're always trying to be as relevant as possible. You start booking stuff ahead, and maybe people don't realize that. So all of it. Let's say Dan Spengler's going to be on next Wednesday, right? And we have a tough time getting Dan on because he's a busy dude and he's got a family. And sorry, Dan, I'm using you, but I'm using you. Okay, so we're going to have him on because it would be really cool to have Dan on. He's got a great story, the whole 9 yards. Then something pops up, and I don't care what it is, that has taken over the world. All of a sudden, here's Dylan Nutt going, hey, dude, I'll be on your podcast, but I can only do it next Wednesday. Well, now we got Dan on. So now what do? Call Dan and say, sorry, Dan, we've tried to have you on for 3 years, but we don't have you on, so we're going to have Dylan Nutt on instead. And all of a sudden, you're just, it's like, no, it's not going to work. And by the way, we'll probably never have Dylan Nutt on, but congratulations, youngster. You go ahead and use the live scope, dude. But yeah, that's why you don't, plan ahead, even like this week, we lucked out and we've got a couple of guys here. I'm excited that our original idea did not work out perfectly because of the Bassmaster Classic. No, it's not Dylan Nutt, but it's somebody better in our area. Right.
Yeah.
But no. So, that's just the way it goes. And frankly, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Lately, we've been on a roll. And I think with tonight's guests, we're on a roll as well. I'm very excited. I'm glad they reached out to you. I'm glad that you had the forethought to remember that they reached out and wanted to be on the show. And it worked out perfect tonight. So pretty excited.
Yeah, Tyler reached out a few weeks ago, and I saw it in my messages. And not that I didn't think of it, but we had a bunch of guests lined up, and I didn't get back to him. So I shot him a message today when our one guest that we're going to have on. Hopefully, I won't say the name, but I'm guessing next week he's committed to it. But like we said, world spins, and we just live in it. So, so we're gonna have him on next week. And I text message Tyler, and he's like, absolutely, we'll be on. So thankful to have these guys on. But yeah, so bear with us over the next couple weeks as we try a new platform. Hopefully everything can switch up, but I'll straight up, StreamYard wants over $3,000 a year to run this program. And with zero money coming in, we've talked about, begging you guys, you loyal listeners, to maybe join a Patreon account or something, because it's not in the cards for two guys that love doing this but don't make a penny off it. And shameless plug, if anybody out there wants to sponsor the show, give us a call. We'll talk some details, but we don't want to go away, and we want to continue what we're doing. So bear with us over some hiccups, maybe over the next couple of weeks, learning a new system, and hopefully it works this way. I've been doing a bunch of research and a bunch of testing, and I hope it will, but don't want to take away from tonight. Just wanted to get that out there right away.
Glad you did.
A lot of fun in the pre-show little get together. It seemed like this is going to be a blast interview. So I'm going to bring in Alex and Tyler from the Clear Lake Fishing Club. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. You?
Oh, we're doing great.
Wonderful. Oh, hang on. What the? Okay, so this is I'm sitting at the table that I bought when my kid was young. Because I thought, well, I'm going to buy this $199 table from Lewis Drug because I'm not going to have anything fancy, because he's young. He was 4 at the time when I did it. Damon, what's up there, buddy? And so I just put my hands on the corner here, and I think I just got a crusty one. I'm like, dude, you did not. You did. You know what? Now I have to look. You don't mind? I'm going to.
That's your
no. It's a scrape from when the microphone fell.
Oh,
okay. All right, Cade. I'm sorry, dude. I thought you wiped a booger underneath the corner of the table here. He did not. So love you, pal.
Now I'm gonna check Alex's table.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, get up under there. See if you can find some gum.
So, boys, Tyler, you reached out to me a few weeks ago, and you said you're the vice president of the club, and then you have Alex, the president of the club. Let's get a little backstory on you two and figure out who you guys are and what you got coming.
Go for it. All right. Hey, so my name's Tyler Dilley. I'm the vice president of the Clear Lake Fishing Club. I do a little guiding on Clear Lake as well. Military background, and just do a lot of volunteer work anymore. I'm retired, disabled, so get the opportunity to spend my time trying to help others and commit time to Clear Lake and kind of try to push the sport forward with the fishing club. And I've got a ton of time on my hands, so get a lot of opportunities to fish, do social media stuff, fish tournaments, talk to cool people, go to seminars, and I guess that's me in a nutshell. Just a guy that got involved with some really cool guys with the Clear Lake Fishing Club. I'm really new to the sport. Not in the sense, like I used to beat the banks when I was younger, but the tournament world and stuff like that, very new to it. Had some success, but overall just been able to, afforded the opportunity, I suppose, by the great guys up here in Clear Lake to help put our tournaments on and help do our nonprofit stuff.
Yeah, I love that. The fact that you can give of yourself despite the situation that you're in. I think it's truly amazing. You mentioned fishing seminars. I am huge on those things. I didn't go to any ice fishing shows. Did you go to ice fishing shows? Were the seminars well attended, or were they really lowly attended?
I didn't actually do anything ice related. I'm not a big ice guy. I'm a nut that chases open water all year long. We did get a chance to go see Tom Wynn in Milford, Iowa. Actually met Dan Spangler there as well. So there's our second plug here for the night. We need to get Dan on this show. But I went and saw Tom, and then we were up at North Star Power Sports and Marine in Albert Lee. And we seen Mark Kortz.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it just surprises me the number of people these days that I think they're getting their content online, YouTube, etc., social media. That's great. But man, you get to go in person and you get to meet these people and hear their stories, and they tell you stuff, you learn stuff, and a lot of people are blowing it off. So come on, people, let's attend a seminar. They're awesome. Tom
and Mark were both fantastic. Both locations that hosted those guys were awesome, really accommodating, and both seminars actually had a pretty good turnout. I was impressed.
good. That's reaffirming. Dan Spengler does a great presentation as well. So if you ever get a chance to see him, he's fantastic. I mean, truly awesome. Okay, that's enough. That's our. What was that? Enough about Spengler. Sorry, it just came up. But what do you?
Yeah. Speaking of Tom Wynn, he'll be at Shields in Sioux Falls this coming weekend for Fish Fest. So anybody around the Sioux Falls area, make sure you guys get a ticket for Shields Fish Fest. And if you've not had the pleasure to meet Tom Wynn, we've had him on quite a few times. And I guess we can say we're lucky enough to call Tom a good friend of ours and a good friend of the show. And he is, everything you see on camera, he's probably even better in person. He's a great guy.
Yes.
Great dude, very genuine.
Shields Fish Fest, are they in Bismarck the following week then? Or is he in Bismarck or was he at Bismarck?
I don't know. I know it's Shields Fish Fest this weekend in Sioux Falls. He's been doing the Shield circuit. So pretty cool to see that. And Mark Courts, another great dude, friend of the show, good buddy of ours. Courts, he's been on the show a few times. He's a great human being. But Alex, let's learn a little bit about you.
Yeah, man. Alex Templeton. I'm the president of the Clear Lake Fishing Club. Been involved in fishing since diapers. Dad fished the FLW, RCL, NAWAs, stuff like that. The GNWCs, went all over the place, and I kind of cut my teeth fishing tournaments here on Clear Lake, and have been fortunate enough to be elected as president of the club and get to help put on. I mean, Iowa's legitimate equivalent to a Gov Cup. So, I mean, it's the Eastern Dakota Gov Cup, as I like to call it. The wind's always blowing here too, boys. But I've had a long story to fish on Clear Lake, and it's been a blessing for small town Iowa. We've got 3,800 acres of water here, and luckily it's full of walleye, so it keeps me pretty occupied. Do a little guiding on the side. Life's good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let me pop this up quick so everybody can see it. I love your logo, but let's pop that up again. That thing actually is fun to look at.
It pops nice.
Wasn't
That's
his baby.
Yeah.
That's his baby. It's sweet.
We had a
No kidding. Yeah, you did a great job, and then you've got, is it Clear Lake then? Obviously, you got the contour map there in the back. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it.
So let's talk a little bit about the club and then what you guys got coming, and then kind of interested in what you said for the nonprofit. So let's talk a little bit about how the club works, how people get involved if they want to be in the club, and what you guys got going for the nonprofit, and then we'll get into your new thing coming.
Sure. So getting in the club's pretty simple. You show up to a meeting. Big, I think, what are we at? $20,
$20 for individuals, and then we've got a family membership as well. It's $20 for you, your spouse, and then anybody in your family under 21.
Yep. So we run a pretty nominal fee for club dues. All that gets put back into Clear Lake and fishing in Clear Lake. We provide, what are we at? 4 public fishing docks we do every year. So we've got that going. We do a big kids day. That runs. Last year it rained the entire time. I still think we had 65, 70 kids out.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. And then we do a vets day as well. So we're just putting it back into the fishing community of Clear Lake, and we run a really cool program. We do tag award fish every year. So we've got $25, $100 walleyes, and then we've got some higher money fish all the way up to $1,000 swimming around the lake that we put on as well.
And those are open for the public to catch. So anybody can benefit from our prize fish program.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Just for the regular average person. And it's a fun little trophy, right? It's a keeper thing. Are they the metal tags or are they like the needle tags?
They're the needle tags.
Okay, still a keepsake,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You work with your local DNR to make that happen, and then
Absolutely. It sounds like I volunteered for it. I talked to the Scott Grummer, our biologist, just the other day, and it sounds like we're going to be doing some either gill netting or electrofishing and doing our tagging. Here.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that whole tagging thing.
Yeah, usually they gill net them every spring. Iowa's a big put and take resource. We don't get the best natural reproduction, so they gill net them every spring, and when they get the fish in the nets, they tag them. Well, the last couple of years, they've had such great success gill netting at Storm, Rathbun, and Spirit. They haven't needed to gill net out of Clear Lake, which kind of stinks for us, but it's not a terrible thing. I mean, they're finishing up in half the time out of Storm, Spirit, and Rathbun than they usually do. So if that tells you anything about what the Iowa DNR has been up to, they're kicking ass. We've got walleyes in a lot of places. So stocking program's awesome.
You mentioned spring. So wasn't it a beautiful winter day today?
We got lucky today. It melted some of this white stuff off. It dumped on us on Monday, thankfully.
Yeah, we got rid of it. I think we hit 66. Tomorrow, 73. I think Pierre's supposed to be 80 on Friday.
That's awesome.
I didn't look that far ahead. Like, again, another week of I don't look at weather. I look when it gets close to tournament season. The week of tournaments, I don't look, and then I look the day of. So me and the weather do not get along very well. So I tend not to look at it to make stuff go sideways. But so you guys, how many of these tags get turned in a year? Do all of them get turned in? And then if they don't, is it roll over to the next year? How does that work?
So we have usually around 15 of the 25 $100 fish get caught. And those are sponsored by businesses throughout town, I should say. So shout out to all of our sponsors there.
That's a great way to do that.
Yeah. And it's a $100 buy-in and $100 payout. So usually like 13 to 15 of them of the $100 fish get caught. Last year, both our $1,000 fish got caught. That wouldn't suck. I've never caught one of those, but I'm never going to complain about catching a walleye that's worth $1,000.
No, I'll catch a walleye that's worth free.
Yeah.
Free
ones are great.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I guess I didn't quite hear it. Do you have to buy in to be part of it, or is it just catch one and you're part of it?
Well, our sponsors pay for sponsor the fish. That's the buy-in part of it.
Okay.
Just open to the public to catch those fish.
Gotcha.
You take them up to the local bait shop, either the fish or the tag, and we emphasize that you can. Both. Oh, we do have to have both.
You have to have. If you bring just the fish and no tag, you're.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. So we've had that problem where they show up with, or they take a picture of the fish, but they don't remove the tag and they release it. Right. We want to promote that releasing. So as long as you have that tag in your possession, the tag is the most important part. Take a picture of the fish with the tag in its back, obviously, so we can verify. But then you can clip that tag out, cut the tag out, don't pull it out. We want to emphasize that too. But you can just bring the tag up to the bait shop and get paid.
Yep.
And that's open to anybody. It doesn't matter if you've got a South Dakota license. You guys come up and fish and crack one. Take it up to Clear Lake Bait and Tackle and get paid.
Yeah. By the way, shout out Clear Lake Bait and Tackle for helping us out with that through the years.
Yep.
That's great. Pretty neat. That's a pretty cool deal you guys do down there. It's pretty awesome. You can work with your local DNR to make something like that happen. So you guys do that. We got a comment here that you put on a heck of a veterans tournament. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you got going on with the veterans?
So I was approached by the club when I started coming to meetings and started fishing tournaments. I've done some other stuff with veteran events. Was approached by the club. We wanted to do one. So I just kind of ran with it. Last year we had probably about 35 volunteer boaters, about 30 veterans that showed up. Each boater, whether it was a local guide or just a hot stick on the lake that showed up, and we were so thankful. It's hard to put these events on. The boaters make the difference, and it's just the veterans will show up. So we had everybody show up at a local boat ramp. We had some breakfast items, some snacks, drinks, the whole 9 yards. Took off, fished. It was really hot that day, so we fished half a day. Did like a little catch photo release program where the boater just recorded everything, and then everybody left with something that was a prize, whether it was a high dollar fishing net, a fishing rod. We had all sorts of stuff for vets to take home. It was just a good day, camaraderie, community. We had a meal. We had some great volunteers, the Bull family, who's he's part of our club too, but the Bull family really stepped up and cooked all the food for everybody. I know I'm forgetting people in that, but it's just a great event that we're just able to bring veterans together, locals and anybody out of town too can come for camaraderie and just a good day of fishing.
And we got good stories and laughing too.
Oh, we had a blast. Everybody remembers something from that day.
Fantastic.
So, Tyler, you said you were military disabled veteran, and you're not from Iowa, correct?
I am from Iowa.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yep.
So thank you for your service. What branch were you in? And
I was in the Iowa Army National Guard with a Black Hawk unit. So I was a helicopter maintainer, crew chief, and a technical inspector. So I did a lot of quality stuff with aircraft.
Okay. Well, very cool. So you guys, now what's the big news, kind of what you guys got going on for the new year?
So we have unveiled a true Iowa circuit this year, the Iowa Walleye Anglers Championship Series, IWAC for short. We're going to hit Clear Lake, Storm Lake, Spirit Lake this year. It's in its infancy. We've got guys talking. They want to go down to Rathbun, want to hit the Mississippi. We're taking it baby steps, running everything through e-tournament. So it'll be catch photo, and we're super pumped to roll it out.
So you working with Josh Sheldon out there with the e-tournament out of Colorado?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, know Josh pretty well. Pretty good dude. He's talked to me quite a few times, and I guess I'm old school, and I like to weigh fish on a scale. So I'm sorry about that, but
no sorries here. We got slapped with a kind of a crappy slot.
Yeah, it's got a great place for a slot events and stuff like that. So me and Josh have had a lot of conversations about different things with e-tournament. But so I fished Spirit Lake area in the winter, went down there one time, fished through the ice, hung out with a buddy. And I guess, you always hear about what this guy next says, Alex, keep those yellow bass out of South Dakota. What I hear about down there is the yellow bass, and panfish. So it's that good a walleye fishery.
It is, since they have put these slots on, it's unreal. You get sick of those 18 to 22 inch fish at certain points of the day. You're looking for those big girls, and those nobody's complaining about catching 18 to 22 inches, but man alive, can you catch them?
Really? So what's the slot then?
So our Clear Lake slot is 17 to 22, and then Spirits is 19 to 25.
Yeah. Spirit and Storm Lake are both 19 to 25. That's the protected slot. You have to release those immediately. Can't keep any of them.
So
I don't disagree with that.
Slot. I mean, they're your breeding fish, right? That 100% your breeding fish.
Yeah.
So that makes a ton of sense. We've had a lot of biologists. We've had biologists on the show. I'm I've had, I guess, Chasing probably say it too. We've had our minds changed on fisheries over the years doing this show. And, they say the best fisheries in the nation thrive with no slot. If you just let it go, and whatever you catch, and you limit you regulate by limits. So I'm kind of a guy like that, but protecting a 17 to 24 inch fish, your most breeding fish in the system, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, especially if you struggle with reproduction. You know, we live on the Missouri River system where Lake Oahe probably stocks some of your walleyes down there because the amount of eggs we collect.
That plays.
Well, and really, you know, you hit the superlative word there is system, right? Because every system is different.
100%.
So it's not a one fits all kind of thing. So, you know, this is fantastic. Trapper says Clear Lake full of those 17 to 22-inch walleye, a lot of bigs, a lot of small lakes in Iowa. Got lots of bigs too. So, you know, I mean, it's a thing. We all want to be able to go out and catch fish. So if somebody's protecting that, I'm all for it. The one thing that I learned is that your common sense opinion to the biology of a lake doesn't mean a damn thing because your logical opinion is not living under the surface of a lake. I just, so I'm like, I don't have an opinion anymore, but I will listen for, you know, fact and I'm learning, right? I'm listening. So.
Well, and that's a good point. And, you know, it's every lake's different. And I don't think people realize, you know, like a lot of people realize that, but like, you know, South Dakota kind of manages as a blanket pattern, right? One fish over 20 inches, you know, some lakes have a minimum, other lakes don't. And I don't agree with the blanket strategy, but I understand why they do it because it's so hard to regulate. Okay, you can't keep this on this lake, can't keep that on this lake. So I get it. I 100% understand why we do it. But the one thing that, you know, we look at all the tournament circuits that go on, you know, the national circuits, the local circuits, all this stuff. Iowa's kind of that hidden, like nobody talks about it unless you get to the Quad Cities, and as all my buddies that have ever fished down there call it the shit show. You know, the shit show in the Quad Cities, you don't hear much about Iowa fishing walleyes.
Yeah, it's quiet. You know, we get a lot of pressure on Clear Lake. I mean, we're 2 miles off 35, a half hour south of 90. We're easy. We're not hard to find. That's for darn sure.
There's a lot of guys that come down from Minnesota. We don't have a season. Yeah, we don't have a season on Clear Lake, so it's open year round. So we get a lot of people traveling here. When the water opens up, but nothing's quite open. I know Spirit has a season too, but at Clear Lake, because we don't have a season, people are on it all the time.
Sure.
So
and it's hard on the system.
Let me understand this. So Spirit has a season, but Clear Lake doesn't?
That is correct.
Yep.
Why?
That's a great question.
The rumor has it they have I'm not going to put anybody down, but they have a festival. They have an opener every year, and they want to keep that festival and their opener and their tournament going every year. And it's just something the locals want. That's the rumor on the street, and it looks to be apparent. Like it's probably
and they can do that if that's what they want to do, right?
Yeah. There is zero biological factor to do a season on fish. There's zero saying that you're going to produce better fish if you don't do a season. I mean, I always joke that Minnesota can't shoot pheasants, so they have to have a walleye opener to drive tourism. We have South Dakota pheasant opener. It's a holiday here, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get married, you don't have a baby, you don't do anything on pheasant opener because it's a freaking holiday in South Dakota, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Minnesota can't do that, so they got to have a walleye opener. You know, that's why. But yeah, that's that. I would bite to that of the season is because, you know, a festival, right? I mean, it's a tourism driving thing, and you know, South Dakota, North Dakota, we don't have seasons, fish year round. There's no evidence that's ever affected reproduction of a lake.
Yep. The one thing I've heard from the DNR guys is it keeps the boats out of their gill nets, so they like it for that, but that only. So.
Yeah, and you know, if they've got their reasons, they got their reasons. That's just fine and dandy.
So they run gill nets in the spring. So we run gill nets in the fall in South Dakota for fish studies, you know, late into the fall. So we don't run them in the springtime here. They do electrofishing and, you know, they collect their eggs and stuff, but we don't run gill nets in the springtime as far as I know.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah,
We do.
all our spring gill netting's all for egg collection, and they obviously take some data on some of the other fish. You know, they get a lot of muskies in gill nets here in Spirit, and you know, it's pretty cool to see them.
Oh yeah.
So Gene has a question. If there's an opener, when does the season go out?
Oh,
February. This year I was up there February 9th catching walleyes. I think it closed February 15th, opens back up May 2nd. So it's mid-February to first week in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, there's, you know, as long as they don't say it's biology reasons, I'm 100% for it, right? Like, I get it. I mean, I hate it because I hate Minnesota not having an opener because they're all over here fishing the Francis Case right now. You go over there and it's blue plates, you know. Now they're trying to trick us with the you and Iowa and Minnesota have the black plates, so they're trying to throw us off. But
Right.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. I'll be coming over to Chamberlain one of these days to harass a few walleyes before we
You
get
got
going down here.
yeah, no, I mean it's there for a reason. We love the tourism. We welcome it in South Dakota, you know, for the most part. But yeah, it's interesting that you have a couple lakes that don't have a season on them, and the rest of the state does. That's just kind of baffling to me that it's not a statewide deal.
Yeah, it is literally just the Iowa Great Lakes that are seasoned. So Spirit, Okoboji, East Okoboji, they all connect. Those are, I believe, the only 3 seasoned lakes in the state.
Yeah, they're unique up there.
Yeah, and then everything
Well,
else wide open. Go catch fish.
So maybe it ties in with the walleye weekend then, right? The fact
for
that
sure,
things are
100%.
shut down. You can win, what is it, $44,000 this year, I think, something like that, if you catch the one tagged walleye or one of the 10. You know, so I get all that. If you're going to build that whole thing and create the mystique of it all, end the season and start a season and start it with a bang and start it with $44,000 walleye.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Yep.
I like this guy's comment here. Sign up for the fishing tournament. 100%. Thank you, buddy.
because I'm guessing that he is the first one that signs up.
No, that tournament's looking pretty good. I can't wait to kick the season off. I mean, it's crazy. We were doing the fall brawl, and then now we're here all of a sudden talking about fishing, the April fishing season. It'll be July before it kind of flash in the pan from April to July for us guys here. But you know, before the show, we were talking, and you know, you brought up something good, Alex. You said your dad fished RCL. It kind of goes back in the day. I mean, that's when my dad was doing stuff pretty heavy with PWT, RCL, those days. But you know, I was taking a drink of a John Daly, and I'd like to see some comments here, the old good boys. And you brought up, who is your John Daly of fishing? I want
that question.
Comments. I'm going to hold mine till the end. We kind of talked about it before. You guys know who mine is, but Tyler, who's your John Daly of fishing?
Oh man, I don't know. I just got something funny. Where's the community hole and what's the lake record? I mean, that's what I ask every time I show up. So who's my John Daly of fishing?
Of walleye.
Walleye fishing, right?
Walleye fishing. I'm gonna have to think on that one. I really am.
You call Bull.
Brad Bull. Brad Bull is. We got a really good buddy. He was the president of the fishing club. His name's Brad Bull. He ran around and fished some big circuits and knew Tommy Scarless. He's got every story in the book. He really is a cool character. But that would be my John Daly. And the local guys will know Brad and laugh, I think.
I mean, you think about it. John Daly is just that guy that doesn't give a shit. Give a shit. Like, I'm gonna smoke cigarettes. I'm gonna drink a case of beer. Like, I watched like a little podcast with him on there, just a little clip, and they said, you know, how many of those good boys you drink in a day? And he goes, 45, 50. The guy goes 45, 50. He's like, yeah, they're only like 4% alcohol. Like,
Yeah. He's a wild man. I do that with energy drinks.
Trapper said
Fits it
that fits
perfectly.
perfectly. So yeah,
Well-
throw your comments out there. Alex, who's your John Daly?
Oh gosh, I'd probably have to throw a Rocket Dan Steer for that one.
I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I said before the show I was gonna throw a curveball of an old school guy, and you called it out on Dan Steer. But yeah, Dan Steer's he truly probably is the John Daly of fishing.
Oh no shit, you were gonna use that. I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, honestly, I think it's ironic, or whatever the right word is there. The fact that you two were thinking the same, I thought we'd have more comments from the crowd. It's like, hey, wait a minute.
I
Are they coming in?
what Trapper has to say, but Jason, who is your John Daly of fishing?
Honestly, it popped into my mind instantly. I'm like Max Wilson.
Yeah, going to you being newer of infant in the industry, you've only really been dabbling around this industry for a couple of years, 6-7 years. Yeah, I bring up all these old school names, and you're like, who?
Ooh, yeah, right. Right.
And yeah, so I think Max Wilson could very well be the new era John Daly of fishing.
Yeah, he does his thing. He does what he wants. He can also whack it out of the park. So
Yeah.
read his book. Oh, no kidding. I didn't I didn't know he wrote a book, but
yeah, so we got a question here. Will the winners of the Iowa Circuit qualify for the new NWT rules in the future? I'm going to guess you got the same answer as me. No.
Yeah, that'd be a no. NTC qualifications, sure. But as far as the NWT, no.
trying to find my John Daly picture, but
Felby said, here's Bob Propsy, the only guy I know to take down a bear. Oh yeah, that's a whole great story. But yeah, Senior, Senior, he's righteous in his own mind, and in a lot of people's mind, I should say, but not the John Daly of walleye fishing.
yeah, no, I
Senior lived in a different world. Senior lived in his own world, basically, but yeah, not the party animal, not the John Daly of fishing. I'm not a big golfer, so I can't even. I wanted to say Tiger Woods would be more like Senior, but yeah.
and I don't even think Senior and Tiger Woods. Because I didn't know Senior, but I've read so many stories, and you've told me a million stories, and he's just not fit. I wish I had that. Have you ever seen the meme where you've got John Daly and Tiger, and then there's whatever dumb meme comment about whatever John Daly is Budweiser and Tiger is Michelob Light or whatever, and so then I took Tiger out. And then in the meme, it's just Daly looking around, holding whatever. And it's like, where the hell did Tiger go? And nobody gets it. Really?
It says John Daly walleye guy. Probably depends on his docking skills. Yeah. So
It's a great question. I love that question. I'm surprised we didn't get more answers. I think people are just afraid to answer.
Yeah, so let's get back. We'll take comments as they come in on the John Daly of walleye fishing. Oh, geez. Oh, Felby threw out my old man. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, he did it his way.
He did it his way, too. Yep. Strap out cigarettes for Copenhagen. Yep. The rest probably fits in truly, yeah. But no, let's get into a little bit more about your circuits you guys got going on. What's the format? You said it's catch, record, release using eTournament app, but entry fees, how many people, how many days, and how many events?
So we've got 4 one-day events and our 2-day Clear Lake Classic. For the one-day events, I cut this is kind of my baby a little bit. We decided to keep the entry point low. And we also decided to have 2 or 3 man teams. So it's $110 to get in plus your membership for our club. Doing an 80-20 payback, just pretty standard for our nonprofit. And then we're trying to get a bunch of sponsors from the community as well. And we've been successful in that, to pay back 100% to the anglers as well. Trying to sweeten the pot any way we can. But so the 4 1-days are $110, and then our 2-day tournament, I'll let Alex talk about a little bit.
Yeah, so our 2-day tournament, the Clear Lake Walleye Classic, has been going on for 36 years, so we've had a pretty good run with this thing. Usually 100 boat field. Since COVID, we've seen a little downturn in that, but we're working on getting her back there. That one runs, gosh, I want to say it's like 265 or 285.
285
this year.
Friday night.
Friday night is we have a big rules meeting, raffle, Calcutta. We feed you, really take care of our guys on that spec. Saturday morning, we go fishing, come back in at 3, do the whole first day weigh in. And then the second day we have a big band shell downtown, and we used to weigh fish across the stage. Now we put them on a TV screen for folks to see and get it done. By the way, better give them a shout out. Our sponsor this year is North Star Power Sports from Renat, Algona, Iowa, or
Albert Lee, Minnesota.
Jeez, what am I doing? Thanks a million to those guys. If you're looking for a lund or a skeeter, give them a shout. They'll hook you up.
Oh, that's awesome. And getting the support from the community and, the industry is great for these events. And, we, to give, like I said, try to get back to the anglers 100%. That's the ultimate goal as a tournament director, is try to pay more out, but it takes money to make this shit go down the road, and it takes money to put stuff on. And, it's every time you turn around, it's another $100 here. And by the time you get home at the end of the weekend, you're like, wow, that credit card bill is pretty big, so, and, it's a tough deal to do. And, like I said, the Iowa thing to me is just kind of baffling, other than the Mississippi River, right? Like, that's all I ever know for walleye fishing over there. And, we're the Governor's Cup. We get a few teams out of Iowa that come up, and I'm like, God, how do we just go around Iowa, right? You got the Illinois River, you got all these places, Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, North Dakota, all these areas that are great walleye fisheries. They're known for walleye fishing, and nobody talks about Iowa. But it's glad to hear you guys talk tonight about the Iowa fishery down there and how probably the unkept secret.
Yeah, it's a pretty good kept secret. Last year, our 2-day tournament, we weighed 47 pounds, won it on Clear Lake, which is just astonishing. Yeah. The year before it, 18.99 won it. So the lake's blown up with the slot. Big Spirit, we've seen tournament weights almost 33 pounds for 5 fish in a 1-day tournament.
So I asked how many fish when you said that. So 5 fish.
5 fish, yep. With 32.59, I think, on Big Spirit won last year, and then Storm Lake was like a 28.5 pound bag. And that one I don't think has been explored all the way. Like we'll see bigger bags this year for that tournament.
So let's get into this a little bit, because it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit about the Bassmaster Classic and everybody bashing on the 22-year-old kid that just waffle stomped everybody. Do you guys?
What's that? So go. We're here to support the fishing community. Whether you want to catch them under red and white bobbers or under a live scope, go for it. We want the biggest weights that can come to the stage. We want people having fun, and we want everybody to enjoy catching walleyes their own way, whatever that is. That's how we want you to do it. Have fun.
So yeah. I got this next comment that popped in. I don't know if we had somebody hack an account or somebody drank their bathwater before they got on the show, but
so I actually sent that right before you started talking about this, because I'm like, okay, let's talk about this Bannon forward-facing sonar thing. I love it. you got to let people catch fish however the hell they want to catch fish, right?
Yeah, why limit? I mean, it's so I've been around this industry my entire life, running tournaments for going on 18 years, started in 2008, grew up in this thing. I mean, I told you guys earlier that, I mean, my dad and Dan Steer moved to South Dakota in the same car, right? Since I was born, I was involved in this industry or part of this industry. And, Jason, we've had these conversations. I don't know if you guys, I remember when the green box was a thing and everybody had a green box. And then I remember when the paper graph came out, and I remember sitting in the camper cutting the paper, and I'm looking back, I'm like, how did my dad know where the hell that paper graph drew that at? But we cut it out, put it in a book, so he knew where to go back to it. And then I've seen the Lowrance, and I've seen the global maps come out, and I've seen, side scan come out, and I saw, anchor lock come out, and I've seen all these things come out. But now all of a sudden, we have a problem with technology.
Oh yeah,
right. We have a problem with technology. It's one of those things to me that this industry is going to evolve. And I've said this 100 times over. I remember being in Mobridge with my dad in our 17-foot tiller boat with a 50 horse on the back and watching Bob Prop Sr. and Mike McCullen go by us in a Starcraft. And the guy my dad was guiding looked at him and goes, he must be doing 200 miles an hour. He was doing 30, right? But I mean, we look at that, and if it wasn't for tournament anglers and people wanting to get out there and learning more, we wouldn't be looking at Vexus dropping a 23 footer with a 500 on the back. Yeah. Now, you can have your own opinions on that. Is it too big? Is it too much? Is it whatever? But I mean, look at, Chasen, he said it 100 times on here. He gives my dad credit for taking the Zebco 202 out of his hand and handing him a reel rod and teaching him how to fish. Would we get to where we are? Would we sit here having a podcast if we stopped technology? Like, it drives me absolutely insane. People are like, you should limit it. You should ban this. No, either learn it or get out of the way. Yeah. Because there was a guy talking about you 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when you got a paper graph and he had a flasher.
Yeah. Well, and now think about it too, right? Okay. I've been fishing all my life. I started fishing with my grandma and grandpa and my mom and dad using a Mickey Mouse little combo, right? Yeah, block it. He's sitting there crying right now because we're hurting his feelings. But we progressed, right? I thought it was a big deal when I went from that little Mickey Mouse. I think I had a Scooby Doo too, but then all of a sudden I'm using the Zebco, the 202. Grandpa was using the Johnsons. He was using the Mitchells. I couldn't let go of Zebco. I end up using the classic, the 33. And then all of a sudden Dave's like, dude, you seriously, you got to stop doing that. Cause that's not the way you're going to be successful. And you can catch those big ones on those. But you think about the technology. I go from a Mickey Mouse combo to forward facing sonar, whatever. Right. I mean, whatever. And I don't know. I think Randy Blockett is crying in his beer or in his Cheerios because it's getting him clicks. People are paying his Patreon money. He's getting his views, and yeah, Chad. Yeah. The technology's here to stay. It's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. It's only going to change things. And then it all comes down to us. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but we got a people problem, right? We don't have an electronics problem. We got a people problem. People have to be smart enough to not go out and catch 60 crappie or 60 perch that are 6 to 8 inches long or a ton of walleye. Like I talked to my neighbor and my buddy Louie. We're going to go look for smaller walleye. I'm going to spend more time looking for slot fish, trying to identify them. So if I decide to get a limit, I can't catch a limit of the big ones anyway. And why would I waste all day long chasing after a 12-pound walleye? If I catch one, great. But if I catch two, well, I already caught one, but 6 months later, I catch a big one again. Great. But I don't need to do it every day.
Right.
It's just like I said, It's here to stay. I mean, Chad said it. It's here to stay. Adapt it or move on. Don't bash a kid for working his ass off. You know, Johnny Candle put a great post out there on his social media. There were so many things that had to happen, not just the live scope, to make him win that event. And I've been around this thing long enough, and Jason's been around it for 4 or 5 years now. How many times do we see a guy that's on a winning pattern, his blows a prop, or 100 things can happen for you before you can win a tournament, and 100% agree, and forward facing is not easy. It's not, it doesn't catch fish. And Teaslink, everybody just needs to be happy and support each other 100%.
There we go. And here's the thing. If you took forward facing sonar away from Dylan Nutt, would he have not won? Maybe. It's possible. It's very possible. But his brother won the college classic the week before. So I had a buddy text me and I'm like, hey, those Nut boys know how to fish. And just because they have forward facing sonar, you still have to know how to fish. So anyway.
And ultimately, I think it's going to come down to eventually we're going to stop talking about it. And we're just going to have a more positive attitude as anglers. It's really negative right now. And you guys hit it on the head with Randy Blockett. I'm not his biggest fan. But I guess that's my one punch at Randy or somebody today. But eventually we're going to stop the bickering and move on. Something else is going to come out. Ultimately, it's supposed to be fun. We're fishing. Just fish your own way and have a good time.
Yeah. Tom Wind is THU is going to partner with Randy Blockett. Tom, I think you should fully wrap his boat for next year.
Oh, I think that's hilarious. I did unfollow Randy right after I read Johnny's post. I'm like, that's it, Randy. We're done. I did enjoy his stuff. I really did. For a few years, he had some great stuff, but he just can't shut up about forward-facing sonar. So,
Drew, you said 100%. You guys nailed the beginning. This is a community. Let's build the community back up 100%, 110%. And everybody's going to fish their own way. Like it, love it, hate it. I mean, whatever you want to do, just understand that it's something that, I mean, Teaslink, I took the words out of my mouth. Just shut up and get kids into fishing. 100%. These kids are diving in. Look at these young kids that would sit at home and not want to go. Now they've got a video game in front of them and they're loving it.
And it's real life. I mean, what is happening on that screen translates from the bottom of the lake to the surface to the rod, the reel, and the fisherman. So it is like a video game, but it's not, because that video game you're playing is not life. There's nothing in there. It's all pretend. It's all fake. So everything on that screen is real. And think about what they're learning about the underwater world and fish, right? So, man, I hope we do quit talking about it. And honestly, sorry that we went there tonight, but I think it was necessary because of the people piling on with the Dylan Nutt deal. And, whatever.
I'm gonna let you read Tom Wynn's big answer here.
Wow. Okay. So this is from Tom Wynn. Here's my response to Randy the other day. You guys complain about FFS, basically implying that it's easy to use, easy to win tournaments for 100K to 300K. If it is easy, go win a tournament. Beat the guys who are successful with it. Wouldn't it be worth it? It would be better time spent for you instead of constantly complaining that makes fishing easy. If I thought the NFL or the PGA was easy, like you guys think FFS is, I would definitely go win a ton of money. Boom. That is fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't want to, we've been rambling about this.
Yeah,
we get passionate. Sorry, we're taking your guys' time up tonight, because really the show's about you. But, I mean, we're passionate about it. I'm just, like I said, I've been seeing people get bashed about this kid, and this kid did something we all dream of doing, right?
Right.
I mean, if it's winning the Spirit Lake Open, or winning the Governor's Cup, or winning the National Walleye Tailor Angler of the Year, whatever it is, that's their moment. Let them be. Yeah. Let them have it. Let them enjoy it.
And he did it all by himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. I you know, doing a little bit of guiding, you get kids in the boat from time to time. And I have this grandpa and his kid. They've came with me for the last 4 years. 3 years ago when I got scope in my boat, it was the same deal he did the first year. If the kid got a little bit bored, bang, iPad came out. 5 minutes down the road, I shine the scope over and here's a pot of like 6 walleyes. I go, hey buddy, come here, check this out. And I go, watch. And I pitch a slip bobber over on that pot of walleyes. I go, you see that? There goes your jig. And he goes, okay. And I go, look up. Bobber was already gone. That kid didn't come off that scope for the whole 8 hours of the trip. He thought that was he was asking what everything was. We had him drilled into it. Ever since, the dude is just, he is laser focused about fishing now.
And we blame it on it's like a video game. And you hit it. I think you kind of changed what I'm going to say from now on is it's more of they want to learn.
It's engaging.
They
so
want,
engaging for kids.
They want to learn, and I think, we say, oh, it's a video game to them, but these kids, like you watch a little kid, my buddy Benny has little kids and his kid will sit there on a freaking iPad and watch kids play with toys, right?
Yep,
they want to learn. And now you just taking something that we all love. I mean, we were all there. Like my dad would have told you a story of when I was a kid. He took me in the boat all the time, and he put a Hot Wheels track, and I'd run my cars in the bottom of the boat. And then one day I realized I could jump off the boat, and
Right.
And that was the day I learned to fish.
Right.
My dad's like, "You're
Hot Wheels.
on, dude. They're in 60 foot of water. Here's a fishing rod, right?" So, I back then it was look at a little flasher, and yeah, there you go. But now these kids, like you said, hey, look at that pot of fish, cast slip bobber, there's your jig. And by the end of the day, that kid was probably telling you what to do, like cast over here, move it here, look at that one, look at this, because they're learning.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I put kids on the front of my boat when I guide. I've got a crappie sidekick by Millennium, so we can run the butt seat, and then I run a seat for the kids to sit in. And it literally takes them about an hour. The younger people, even older people, grandma, grandpa, whatever, takes them about an hour before they start identifying targets. They're really good at it. And an hour and a half, most people can cast on a fish if I can get them close enough. But it's just so engaging.
Yeah, 100%. We have a comment here.
Oh boy.
So what football? Tom,
We missed that one.
It didn't translate through the giggles.
it said, so what position would Tom Wynn play in football? I'm he's got to be, he'll be a quarterback. I'm going
quarterback or a kicker.
Yeah, he's like, I think he's more like a defensive coordinator. He's going to get a coaching position.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, there you go.
He Bill Belichick style, like he's Kevin O'Connell, like let's go.
He's the guy at the end of the game though that I'm putting in to kick a 63-yard field goal.
If you want somebody that's clutch,
he's clutch. He's clutch. He's a good dude. His program's awesome. I did the THU. It helped a lot.
GM. We call him the franchise for a reason.
I wish that screen was bigger so you could see what it says.
Oh my God, that's so.
Tom Wynn says the mascot.
That's good, dude, buddy.
Travers,
The
definitely
the smartest guy on the whole football field. He's hanging out with cheerleaders.
Yep, that's my man.
We call him the franchise for a reason.
That's
You
exactly right. He's a stand-up comedian too. That's
we're getting to our hour mark. I did pass one comment because I wanted to give you guys a little more time to get involved in a conversation, and I didn't want to go over. I'll go back to it because we got more comments. If I see you in Okoboji this winter, you completely changed my mind on how going. I'm going to use forward-facing sonar. So, yeah. So one of you guys must saw him on the Okoboji and talked him into using forward-facing sonar. So, But yeah, I got a comment here I want to bring back. I did not forget you, Alex. I got to find it now. I just had it before I had to jump down, but I didn't want to take too much of, we were rambling at the time. So Alex should end weigh-ins and all switch to the same system that the IWAC series. I will 100% disagree with you, Alex. And this is my theory only. One, every lake has its own problems, right? Every lake is different. You have a slot limit. They're using it in Nebraska because of really restricted slots on certain lakes. But a lake I've been doing this 18 years, had hours of conversation with biologists. Lakes need a mortality. They need a mortality. You can go down the line of deep water hooking, believe what you want to believe on deep water hooking. But at the end of the day, our spring tournaments are all catch and release. And we do a very good job at making sure those fish go back. Do we lose them? 100%. And, I always hear, well, if you put them on the knife, you're going to lose all of them. I agree 100%. But if we're going to talk about deep water hooking and different bodies of water and different things like that, I'm not going to tell you by taking a picture on a hot ruler. Mark Court said it on our thing. He hit it out of the park. So you grab that fish, you bumble around with it for 2 to 3 to 5 minutes. You put it on a hot ruler and you throw it back in. You think it lived? I don't know. Right? We don't know the science behind it. But I mean, there's one thing, if you catch it quick and splash it, they got a better chance at living, right? There's 100%. I don't think it's the way of the future. And the number one reason I always go back to, if it was, Bassmasters would be doing it.
Right. The one thing that people don't talk about, you never hear anybody talk about the biology of a fish and the reason for the slime. So you dry a fish out by laying it on the carpet, doing whatever you're doing, and you throw it back in. Guess what, my friends? You probably killed the fish, because now the bacteria can grow wherever that dry spot is. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, we can go on and on and on. We could say Tom Wynn's a problem on Lake Sakakawea or whatever fish, or lake he fishes, because, well, he's going to make the fish bite even if they don't want to. So, I mean, we can make up all kinds of problems. Just get out, fish, and have some fun, and do it in Iowa. Join the club. Get in on it. Have a good time. Clear Lake Fishing Club, home of the Iowa Walleye Classic, and a ton of fun. And very economical, easy way to have some fun.
And Trapper said, thanks, guys, for coming on and representing Iowa. 2 stand-up dudes.
Right on. Well said, Trapper.
Thanks, Trapper. Appreciate you, buddy.
Before we jump off, where can people find more information? Obviously on social media, but where can people find more information? Throw that out for us.
Yeah, our Facebook page is our hub. Clear Lake Fishing Club on Facebook.
Clear Lake IA Fishing Club.
Don't forget
the IA.
Don't put AI. Everybody's used to doing AI. It's IA.
Right. Yeah, not AI.
Yeah. We've got links to our tournaments there. You guys can get signed up. We'd love to have you. We're going to put on a heck of an event again this first weekend in May. It's going to be a barn burner. It's gonna take a couple sacks to win that thing.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for spending time with us.
Yeah, I
appreciate you guys so much for having us.
Appreciate it a lot, guys. Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you kindly.